Welcome back to My Utmost for His Highest for August 24th. The spiritual search. Let's look at Matthew 7, verse 9. Matthew 7, verse 9 says, "Which of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him?" I love those verses because, sometimes we think, oh, can we trust God? But He loves us more than our real parents did. And my real parents would never give me a snake, that's for sure. Okay, the illustration of prayer that our Lord used here is one of a good child who is asking for something good. We talk about prayer as if God hears us regardless of what our relationship is to Him. See Matthew 5:45. Never say that it is not God's will to give you what you ask. Don't faint and give up, but find out the reason you have not received. Increase the intensity of your search. Examine the evidence. Is your relationship right with your spouse, your children, and your fellow students? Are you a good child in these relationships? Do you have to say to the Lord, I have been made irritable and cross, but I still want spiritual blessings? You cannot receive and will not have to do without them until you have the attitude of a good child. We mistake defiance for devotion, arguing with God instead of surrendering. We refuse to look at the evidence that clearly indicates where we are wrong. Have I been asking God to give me money for something I want while refusing to pay someone I owe Him? Have I been asking God for liberty while I am withholding it from someone who belongs to me? Have I refused to forgive someone, and have I been unkind to that person? Have I been living as God's child among my relatives and friends? See Matthew 7:12. I am a child of God only by being born again, and as His child, I am good only as I walk in the light, 1 John 1:7. For most of us, prayer simply becomes a trivial religious expression, a matter of mystical and emotional fellowship with God. We are all good at producing spiritual fog that blinds our sight, but if we will search out and examine the evidence, we will see very clearly what is wrong: a friendship, an unpaid debt, or an improper attitude. There is no use praying until we are living as children of God. Then Jesus says, regarding His children, everyone who asks receives. I know some people take that verse, ask and it will be given, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be open. But like that saying, you have to have a relationship with Jesus and you have to have a right relationship. And so if we are doing sinful things over here, God's not going to hear our prayers over here. And if we're asking, like that said, for money here, but then we owe someone money and not giving them the money, God's not going to bless us with more money, right? So He wants our hearts to be pure as can be, and He wants us to be focusing on Him and on loving other people. And then when we ask, and if we ask with right motives, then He will give us. And again, He's going to give us what we need, not necessarily what we want. And a lot of times, we might be praying for things that we really want because we really want them, but He is going to give us daily bread, and He is going to give us forgiveness, and He is going to try to give us harmony in our relationships. So those are great things to be praying for. So I hope today that you pray for the right things with the right attitude, and God will give. He promises to give when we ask. So have a good day asking, and I will see you back here tomorrow. You can order your own copy of the My Utmost for His Highest devotional book by going to utmost.org. And I would love to answer any questions you may have about faith in Jesus. Just email me through my website, nancyjoytoyou.com. And I hope you go out and shine for Him today. See you tomorrow.